Manchester United's rebuild is officially moving into top gear, and this time, the name on everyone's lips isn't another flashy European wonderkid, it's Premier League proven power. Reports reveal Nottingham Forest's Ibrahim Sangaré has made United's shortlist as the ideal replacement for Casemiro, and the logic behind it actually makes perfect sense. Welcome back to the channel, football lovers. If you bleed red and live for proper transfer insight, you're in the right place. Today we dive deep into the strategy behind Manchester United's next big midfield evolution, who they want, why they want them, and how Sangare's signing could quietly fix the engine room Michael Carrick depends on. Before we jump in, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. Should United go for proven Premier League experience like Sangare, or gamble on a young talent from abroad? Now, let's unpack it. Manchester United's summer rebuild has never looked more focused. A club once guilty of buying headlines instead of harmony is now, under ineos oversight, starting to act with purpose. Michael Carrick, having guided the Red Devils through a far steadier spell than anyone expected, has one big message for recruitment chiefs: get the midfield balance right. Casemiro's chapter is closing. The Brazilian has been a rock when fit, a role model off the pitch, and, for stretches, a linchpin in United's defensive organisation. But football doesn't slow down for sentiment. Age and speed eventually collide, and for a Premier League midfielder, that moment always arrives sooner than you'd like. With his contract up at season's end, Carrick and the board are being proactive, not reactive, in lining up his successor. Enter Ibrahim Sangaré, Nottingham Forest's 28-year-old powerhouse from Ivory Coast. According to reliable reports from Give Me Sport, United's recruitment team have tracked Sangare all season and identified him as a top name on their defensive midfield shortlist. This isn't just lazy link gossip, it fits a clear recruitment pattern. First, United's transfer philosophy has shifted toward players who already understand England's tempo. Lessons from recent signings like Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo show the benefit of Premier League-ready arrivals. These players adapt quicker, make fewer mistakes, and stabilise results from day one. Sangare, after impressing at Forest, offers that precise efficiency. Second, Sangare isn't a replica of Casemiro, he's a modern evolution. While Casemiro thrives through anticipation and destructive pressing, Sangare adds a more vertical approach, breaking up play and moving possession forward calmly. Watch his Forest performances and you'll see a midfielder who rarely vacates his zone yet constantly feeds the wings. At 6 feet 3 inches, Sangare has the physique Carrick values in duels, but his passing statistics quietly stand out too. High completion under pressure, smart one-touch connections to progress play, and crucially, the ability to stay composed when pressed by aggressive opposition midfield lines. Those qualities have made him one of Forest's most consistent performers in an otherwise turbulent campaign. United's shortlist reportedly includes 8 to 12 names, but Sangare's advantage is his distinct profile. Compare him with the others. Elliot Anderson, creative and box-to-box flair. Carlos Baleba, technically gifted, still raw. Adam Wharton, elegant on the ball, learning defensive timing. Sandro Tonali, classy passer but embroiled in off-field uncertainty. Angelo Stiller, tidy operator in the Bundesliga, good ball mover. Each brings creativity. Sangare brings stability. The vital glue. United haven't had that pure anchor since the early Casemiro days. Now consider Carrick's tactical worldview. As a former holding midfielder, he understands football's geometry. Everything flows from the pivot. In defensive transitions, it's the screening player who determines how high fullbacks can roam, how brave centre-backs can step, and how confidently creative players, like Bruno Fernandes or Garnacho, can take risks up front. Sangare fits that connection role perfectly. He screens. He balances. Picture him sitting behind Mainoo's youthful innovation and Anderson's drive. Suddenly United transform from frantic to fluent. Instead of scrambling through games, they dictate them again. There's also the financial logic. Forest signed Sangare from PSV Eindhoven for around €35 million in 2023. With 2 years left on his deal, United sensed the potential for value, maybe a £25-30 million range transaction. Compare that to chasing a top-tier European DM for £70 million plus, and you realise this move represents smarts over spectacle. Of course, Forest will resist any attempt to lose both Anderson and Sangare in one window. For them, that's the core engine. But money talks, especially when you're managing financial fair play constraints. United, with ineos' new budget strategy, can now structure deals smartly, smaller upfront payments, performance-based ADONS, sustainable recruitment. Sangare could easily be one of those methodical, low-noise signings that make all the difference over a 38-game season. There's something almost poetic about Carrick, one of the most underrated midfielders of his generation, now handpicking the next generation of holders. His comments on leadership echo this plan. "You're connected to the whole team, emotionally, mentally, technically," he said recently. Replacing Casemiro is about more than tackles. It's about someone who keeps the collective heartbeat steady. Fans naturally dream of shiny names, but the reality is that teams win titles with foundations, not fireworks. Sangare gives you that base. He's experienced, composed, grounded, physically dominant yet tactically aware, the quiet engine that lets the stars shine. If the club finalises both Sangare and a creative midfielder like Anderson or Wharton, it would redefine United's midfield identity. Youth blended with authority, artistry balanced with muscle. For a manager preaching composure, that's the ultimate symmetry. In many ways, Sangare is the player Carrick himself would have loved behind him back in the day, winning the loose balls, absorbing the chaos, freeing others to play. That's the beauty of this new recruitment wave. It's not random spending. It's replacements by reflection, so there it is. Manchester United's latest target, Ibrahim Sangaré, emerging as the ideal Casemiro successor. Premier League tested, positionally disciplined, financially sensible. Exactly what a focused rebuild looks like. Carrick's message is clear: fix the middle, and the whole team breathes again. If Sangare arrives alongside one of United's more creative targets, the club could finally strike the midfield balance they've chased for years. If you want the club to make smart signings instead of headline hype, smash that like button, subscribe for logical football takes, and comment below. Would Sangare be your pick to anchor United's midfield next season? Bringing football news with brains and heart. Until next time, stay sharp, stay positive, and forever, glory, glory Man United.